All right. So thank you guys so much for being on here. I'm really excited just for this call to kind of get to know you guys a little bit more and just get to know each other because I know that not all of us know each other very well at all. So I wanted to first, I want to start this call off and I'm going to pray for us if that's all right. If that's not okay with you, if you'll just let me know later and talk about that. But I wanted to go ahead and kind of start our time that way. So if you don't mind, I'm going to pray for us. Lord, thank you so much for today. We thank you for just this opportunity that you have given us to meet together. I pray that you would be glorified in this time that we have and that we would continue to just seek you and your glory in everything, regardless of what it is, and especially in this business. We love you and we just thank you for this time. Help us to get to know each other and care for each other well. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, so I wanted to start off this call just introducing ourselves and getting to know each other a little bit, and then I have a little exercise that I want us to do. But welcome to Team Cup. Raise your hand if you've ever done Team Cup before. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, Molly, you did it last
year. I was a baby first month coach last year.
Coach. Yeah, you're a little baby coach. Okay, so Team Cup is not anything special. It is just kind of a little competition to encourage you to do the business activities and kind of jumpstart, give you a little kind of kick in the pants to, do the things that you really need to be doing all the time, but a healthy competition is never a bad thing. So there are some fun prizes. I don't know if you guys have checked out those prizes, but there is an individual prize. So if you hit Success Club 10, just you, you'll get a 10 rounds t-shirt or tank top. If all 5 of us each hit Success Club 10, we get, I think it's a bag. Is that right? I can't remember. I think it's a bag. Okay. And then the third prize is like the top teams in the region. So we're in the central region. If we're one of the top teams in the central region, we get a bar, for a bar blend.
Ooh.
So that's pretty fun. And I'm pretty sure it's pink, like rose gold bar. So anyway, that's really fun. And of course, it also contributes, counts towards the General Success Club prizes as well, which if you don't know about that, just search the FAQ for Success Club. But if you hit Success Club, a certain number of months in the year, they're like different tiers and you get different prizes at different levels all the time. And then this is kind of an extra added thing. Also, if you're one of the top, there's actually going to be 2 top teams this year. If you're like the top team in the network, you actually get to go to LA to Beachbody headquarters. You get a whole tour. You get like a private workout with the trainers. You get your name on the big fancy Team Cup trophy. It's all kinds of fun stuff. So that's a little bit about Team Cup. We are kind of made up of, I know we have like 4 different uplines kind of represented here. So I wanted to start out just kind of sharing who we are because first and foremost, this is a team. So I want each of us to be encouraging each other and pushing each other. And that always happens well when we know each other. So I'll start and share a little bit about me. You can share whatever you want. So who you are, you can share Beachbody stuff, you can share personal stuff, whatever. But my name's Haley. My upline is Rachel Johnstone. Crystal, she's your upline too, right? Or are you under somebody?
I'm under Annie and then Rachel.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So Rachel's my upline. I started coaching a little over 3 years ago. I guess technically like 3.5 years ago. I was a challenger first. I joined one of Rachel's groups. Rachel and I have known each other since middle school, and I saw her starting to coach, and she was posting transformation pictures, and she literally never posted on social media ever. She was like a passive, just kind of social media stalker and didn't ever post anything. And so when she started posting, And then especially started posting pictures of like her in a sports bra. I was like, what is happening? This is weird. But then I also noticed like she had a crazy transformation. And so I reached out to her. I had been through a very interesting few years with my health. I, at that point, had been diagnosed with Crohn's disease for 5 years at that point, and then I had 2 other autoimmune diseases just in the last year that had creeped up, a type of arthritis and then a skin disease that is real gross. But I had also been on a just slew of different medications and a ton of steroids. And so my weight had just completely ballooned up. I felt horrible all the time. I had tried a bazillion different ways to lose that weight and to feel better, and nothing had worked. And so when Rachel started posting, I reached out to her. Anyway, long story short, I joined a challenge group, got crazy good results, and I did 21 Day Fix Extreme. It was amazing. She invited me to coach one time after that, and I was like, yes, I want to do this. I loved it. I loved the challenge group. I loved that community, and I loved my personal transformation. So I started coaching to continue my own journey, to get some accountability, added accountability for my own journey. And because I also just really liked the challenge group thing, I liked sharing, I liked the community. And so I started coaching October 21st of 2016. And I love it. I love it so much. I've been through lots of different seasons in it. But I will tell you that in the last 3 years of coaching, I have been healthier than I had been before that. My inflammatory markers are lower than they've been since before I was diagnosed with Crohn's. And I owe all of that to Shakeology and eating clean as well. But Shakeology is like near and dear to my heart. So that is why I coach. I will say that in the 3 years, things have changed quite a bit. I started coaching in 2016. I was single and I was really struggling with my finances. I worked full-time as a school psychologist and had a bunch of different side jobs. I like drove for Lyft, I delivered for Favor, all the things to try to make ends meet. And I was really struggling. And so when I started coaching and then found out that I could make money, it was a huge answer to prayer. And so I kind of dove into that business piece out of necessity. And now, fast forward 3.5 years, I met my husband, we got married, and we got pregnant, and now I have a 9-month-old kid, and I'm staying home with him. And I am staying home with him and building this business to be a full-time income. And so super, super thankful for that. And really excited to get to know you guys a little bit and your stories. So whoever wants to start, I don't care who it is, just share who you are a little bit with us, whatever you want to share.
Okay, I'll go.
Okay.
So I actually live in Colorado. So I live really close to the mountains, like Coors Brewery. That's usually what people know. It's like 10 minutes from our house. I have a 4-year-old, 4.5, and a 19-month-old. 2 boys that are wild and are gonna burn the house down. Like literally I caught my 18-month-old on the bathroom sink with the sink filled with water. Like my older kid never did things like that, but he has big brother to learn from. So I work part-time as a dental hygienist. So I work Mondays and Wednesdays. And so for me, like money, doing this for money wasn't really a reason. It's more, I started as a challenger, and let's see. So I started, when did I start? Last January with Transform 20, and about died. And I just, I, had a hard time losing baby weight for the second baby, because he is a monster, like he is giant. And so I craved all the things while nursing. So it was just really hard to like lose the weight. Kid number 2, I'm older. He ate 24/7. So I did the challenge group and it was great. Like I lost 20 pounds in a matter of a few months. And so now I'm at 30 pounds and still going. Like, I feel like I don't have pounds left to lose. It's just more like inches and muscle and all that. But then I started coaching. Annie finally convinced me in like May. And I was like, whatever. Like, we'll see. Like, maybe I'll get my shakes paid for. And that's still primarily my goal. And maybe my nails or something. But I would love to be able to, like, if I could even go down to working 1 day a week, would be really nice. So if I could supplement that income, that I work, and I don't know how sustainable that will be. He's been doing it for 4.5 years. So yeah, so we'll see. He has his own business. So it helps as far as staying home. He does garage doors. But it's also really hard because he has to answer the phone and do all that while taking care of 2 children. Let's see what else. I don't know. Yeah, so I'm a Colorado native. I've been to Texas. Is that where everybody lives? Is Texas? Yeah. Okay.
I know
So-
Molly and I are in Austin. Paige, I don't know where you are in Texas.
I'm in Rosenberg, so like
Okay.
south of Houston.
Okay.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, like, part of why I wanted to start coaching with Annie and stuff was because I loved her. And it was like this community thing and the challenge group. And it was like the girl gang, you guys. I was like, this is awesome, but nobody's here. So I'm like, well, this is kind of funny. Like,
Where in Colorado did you say you are?
I'm in Arvada, just right next to Golden.
Okay.
So like where the Coors Brewery is and all that. So I'm right up against the foothills. So I'm like 20 minutes from Denver, 20 minutes west.
Okay.
So right outside the mountains and stuff. So if you follow me, you'll see like snow on Instagram and stuff. Although we haven't had snow, but it is right now. It's like 34 degrees outside. So, and I'm an hour ahead of you guys too. So, but I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thanks. Who's next?
So I'll go. So I have a 3.5-year-old named Joey and a little over 2 now, 2-year-old daughter named Lily. I have been coaching since about May of last year, the end of May, so almost June. I actually did Beachbody, it was like 6 years ago, but I didn't even know who my coach was, like, at all. I didn't know her at all. She just kind of reached out to me, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. And then things were so different back then. There was like just the DVDs, and it was just so like foreign to me. And I honestly didn't even put any effort into it. It was like I probably did it for like a month, and then I just was like, yeah, this isn't for me. But I had followed so many Beachbody coaches on Instagram for years and like wanted to do it. And then finally, Mallory is my upline, Mallory Taylor. And she reached out to me because I've always kind of been one to post about my weight loss journey because that's always helped me stay accountable. So she reached out to me and I told her no a bunch of times. And then finally I was like, okay, let me try this. And then, yeah, so, yeah, a lot of it for me in the beginning was the accountability. And a lot of it now is to help with financial things with my family because I am a stay-at-home mom, and it's something that I'm really, especially the last couple months, have been wanting to dive into more to be able to help more because we really need it. So I'm really excited for Team Cup to help me stay accountable because I really feel like I've been needing that because it does get crazy with 2 kids having to like make the time for it, but I really, really want to be able to commit to it. So yeah. But I've lived in Houston area my whole life. I lived in College Station for a little bit, well, like 6 years after I turned 18. And that's where I met my husband. And he's from Waco, so it's kind of perfect because we were like right in between. If you know, it's like literally an hour and a half, both opposite directions. So we met there, then we moved back here, and I gained all the weight back. And after I had like gotten to really, really, really good shape, and it was like really hard, but yeah, I'm really thankful for Beachbody because I don't know. I don't think I would have been able to the way I did the last time I lived in the gym before, and I just can't do that with kids now. So yeah. But yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Molly.
All right. So my name is Molly. Haley is my upline. And so Haley and I have known each other through church. I don't even know how long now, like
Yeah, I don't even know.
8 years. I don't even know. It's been a while. So we met through church. And so I've watched Haley's journey, ever since, like, I remember, like, at one point, because we were all serving in, like, the kids ministry together, and we were doing, like, leadership meetings, and, like, at one point we were all on the Whole30 train, and then we were, like, doing all I don't know, it was just funny. And then, like, I was watching her, transformation go through a lot of this stuff, and, like, and sitting there and praying through a lot of her, like, stuff that she was going through with her health. And so through all of that, just kind of with my story, so I'm a full-time teacher. I teach high school. I teach at a Title I low SES school full of amazing children that I can cry about all day long because I love them so much. I teach a class called AVID, so I basically it's like a college prep program for first-generation college students. And so I get to basically help them go to college, which is awesome, and then be a support system for them. So I really love what I do. My husband is a teacher and a coach too here in Leander, and so we're both teachers. But through all of that, so almost 5 years ago, my dad passed away really unexpectedly. And then right after that, that whole year, actually before that too, my best friend lost her husband really unexpectedly. So like that happened, and then my dad passed away. And so we were kind of like, okay, you know what? We're going to stop waiting for things and have a family. And so we got pregnant with my daughter, my first daughter, Riley. She's just turned 3. It was weird. And so we went through all of that, and so just like dealing with grief and having a baby and all those things. And like, I just didn't really take care of myself. And like, I'd always said like, oh, I'm going to work out when I'm pregnant and do all these things. And like, I just didn't. It was, just hard dealing with all this stuff and figuring out how to like kind of do all these things. And then I was a mom, and then it was like literally just gut checking like how much your life revolves around this little bitty person. And truth be told, I feel like I probably struggled with postpartum a little bit, just because it was really, really hard. And it was something that, I don't know, I just feel like I know nobody's ever prepared, but like, I just wasn't prepared for like the emotional side of being a parent, and how much it just really, like, how much you just love this little person that's in your life, but like they're literally taking everything that you have to be able to get through the day. And like, so then as I was kind of starting to feel like myself, and actually right before I found out I was pregnant with Riley, I had actually done a challenge group with the DVDs with 21 Day Fix with another friend of mine. And then I found out I was pregnant, and I was like, oh, no, whatever. But then through all that, like, as I was kind of starting to feel better, I'd actually just gone in and renewed my Beachbody On Demand, and because I'd still had it, and I was like, oh, I'm going to do this. And like, I think that was with Haley. I was like going to join a challenge group. And then like a month later, I found out I was pregnant with my second daughter. So they're like 18 months apart. So, never lost the weight. And then I just added more on. And through all of that, it was just, struggles and trying to figure out how to make all of those things fit together in our life and stuff. And in between that, Michael was changing jobs. He was working at one school over in Austin, and then now moved over to Leander. And so it was just a big transition for us with a lot of stuff. And so I found myself, like, this was a year and a half, or like a little over a year ago in November. So it was like Thanksgiving break, not this past year, but the year before. Michael was coaching football at the time. And if you know anything about Texas football, they are coaching all the time, and they're never at home. And I was at my mom's house in Fort Worth over Thanksgiving break with a teething 6-month-old that would not sleep. Well, she was like 5 months old, and, you know, like a 1.5, almost 2-year-old. That was just crazy. And I was by myself, and I was overwhelmed, and I had no energy. I remember Harley just crying in the middle of the night, and I couldn't handle it. I was just so overwhelmed. And I remember like sitting up in the middle of the night thinking like, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. Like something's got to give. And so I literally like went home, and Michael and I talked about it, and I was like, I just need something that holds me accountable, that gives me something to say like, okay, I have to lose the weight. I have to be accountable to someone other than myself. And so I literally just looked at him, and I was like, I think I'm going to be a Beachbody coach. I'm just going to call Haley. And he was like, okay, go for it. So I just reached out to Haley, and I was like, look, I think I'm going to coach, and I don't even know what the heck this is, and I don't know what I'm going to do, and I don't even really care about the money at this point, but I just need something to hold me accountable so I can do this. And then obviously I jumped in. So a little over a year ago, had awesome results. My life has completely changed in the past year. I mean, it's been incredible. Like the other day I came home and just like popped in, and we were like having a dance party in the kitchen to like Trolls soundtrack. And then I was cleaning dishes and like doing all this. And I thought like a year ago, I would have been so dead tired by the time I got home and just like mentally drained that I like couldn't do any of that. And so, yeah, so it's just been amazing. My husband is now, you know, doing workouts with me, and we're kind of like, this is just like what our family and stuff does now. It's been amazing. So in June of this past year, we actually, unofficially, but we adopted one of my students was one of my students for the last 4 years. So he is now part of our family. So now I have a 19-year-old and an 18-month and a 3-year-old. So we're busy and have a lot going on, but it's just been amazing to like do that. And it's been fun because like Dante's going to the military, and so he like gets up and works out with us and does that kind of stuff too. So it's just been a cool thing for me. And so I think it's kind of crazy. We all had illnesses and stuff over the beginning of the year, and I was like really beating myself up because I didn't get to like sit down and like actually I like to sit down at the beginning of every year and like reevaluate and go through things, and like I didn't really get to do that. Like we literally all got sick, and like it was craziness. But like looking at it this year, I'm like, I need to sit down, and I really want to figure out like, why am I doing this business now? Because Michael and I were talking, and I was like, I really feel like my why has changed, because before it was like, I was so overwhelmed, and I was like, I need to lose weight, I need to do all this. And I'm like, well, now fitness is part of my life, and it's what I do. And I literally will never go back because it's changed my life. But now I'm like, well, okay, but why do I want to keep doing this business? And so I have to like, I'm trying to still work through that. And I was excited for Team Cub this year just because I was like, I was the same way as Paige. Like, I need something to kind of like kick me in gear and give me some accountability. And like with 2 kids running around and dealing with all of this, like I need just something and some other people around me to be a part of. So I'm excited.
Yay. Okay. Thank you guys so much for sharing. I'm really excited. I hope we don't make Rachel feel too like annoyed by all of our kid talk. We all have small children. And she's got her giant children. Her stepkids are like teenagers. So anyway, this is really fun that we are all kind of coming from different, teams and all together for this opportunity. I always feel like it's a really good thing when you get to learn from different people. Paige, you're hearing from Mallory all the time, and Crystal, you hear from Annie and from Rachel. And so this is just gonna be fun to have a kind of a different little mentorship group. So that was a really great segue, actually, Molly, what you were sharing, because our activity tonight is I want to do a little brain dump. We're gonna, for 3 minutes, you are going to write down and physically write it down or put it in your phone, but I don't want it just in your head. I want it out on something. So I want you to brain dump why you coach. Why do you want to coach? Why have you coached in the past? Why is it important to you? The reason that we're doing this is if you don't know why you do it, can't articulate it, then you're not going to share it. And if you don't share it, you are not going to build a business. So this business is built on recruiting other people to join you. You can absolutely have a business where you just recruit challengers and you just run challenge groups and that's all you do, but it is not going to reach the next level. If you're serious about actually making money in this business, you are not going to get there without a team. You're just not. If you have any goals of building a full-time income, not saying leaving a full-time job, but if you want your income to be at that level, it's not going to happen unless you reach 2-star. It's just not. Unless you're a crazy seller, like unless you get just tons of commission, which I don't think any of us really want to be. If you do, that's fine, totally. But that's the hard way for sure. So we're going to spend the next 3 minutes and I want you to brain dump all of the reasons that you love coaching, all of the reasons that you decided to coach, all of the reasons that are keeping you coaching, just stream of consciousness. Okay. So I'm going to set a timer and I'm going to do this with you. Ready, set, go. Okay, stop. All right. Now, we're not going to like share all of the reasons, but now what I want you to do is go through each individual reason and right next to it, can this one thing be a post? or can I talk about this thing in my stories? Okay, so I'll give you like 1 minute. Just quickly go through your list and write next to it post/stories or both.
I feel like this is a trick question.
Kind of is. Good job. So
So
that is, there are maybe a couple that you're like, "Oh, I don't really want to do a full post about that, but I could talk about it in my stories." But the purpose of this exercise is to show you that there are a lot of things that you can turn into posts to talk about this business. I feel like when you are a relatively new coach, and even sometimes some of the veteran coaches, it can be difficult to talk about the business. It's super duper easy to talk about your challenge groups. It's really easy to talk about, like, I'm doing this thing. You should join me. It is awesome. We can lose weight. We can get healthy, blah, 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 which is great. And you should absolutely do that. I'm not telling you to not post about your challenge groups. That is kind of the meat and potatoes of, what we do as coaches. But if you don't talk about the business, you're not going to get people to join you in this business. And so I want you to kind of always be doing this exercise of brain dumping, and realizing that there's so much you can talk about in this business. So I want us to go around and I want you to share one thing from your list that you are going to commit to, and I'll give you a second to kind of look through, that you are going to commit to posting about tomorrow. Okay, I want all of you to post about the business tomorrow. And I want you to choose one thing and I want you to share it with us so we can be on the lookout.
Oh,
So I have one that I'll share that is not something that I've talked about it one time in a post, but I need to talk about it more. So I struggle a lot with laziness. I struggle with I'm a 3 on the Enneagram. And so when you are kind of an achiever oriented person, sometimes when you hit the wall and you burn out, you go to the opposite end of the spectrum. So for me, I either go, 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 or I'm like, I do nothing. I take a nap and I don't want to do anything productive. And on a like sinful level, that can be happening more often than I would like it to. And especially right now, staying home with Judah, I'm like, okay, he's napping, I'm gonna nap. He's napping, I'm gonna nap. Like, Haley, you don't need to nap 3 times a day. You just don't.
my husband must be a 3.
It's super interesting to look into Enneagram. If you're not familiar with it, it's like life-changing in my opinion. But anyway, so one of the reasons that I love coaching, especially now that I'm staying at home, is it gives me structure to my day and something to be productive, and something to prevent me from being lazy. So I think that's what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. So anybody else want to share your one thing?
One of mine was that it gives me a sense of purpose in being other than a wife and mom.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome. I know that was huge for Molly when she first started. That was like one of the things that she shared about a lot and was so good at it. So that I think resonates really well with a lot of people. And there's so many stay-at-home moms just scrolling on Instagram all day long. And so if you can really hit that hard like pain point right at the beginning, and then kind of go into it, that's going to be awesome. That's huge. All right, what else? Who else? Crystal, what are you going to share?
Okay. So I just shared about community like yesterday. So I was thinking I never like to talk about the money thing because it's not something, well, I guess it's not easy to do when you're a new coach because I don't make a ton really yet. So I don't have that to share. But I had written down fun things, like to pay for fun things for my kids to do
Yeah,
and stuff. So
that's huge.
yeah. So we're doing gymnastics tomorrow. So we can write about
Perfect.
gymnastics.
You take a really fun picture of you with your kiddos doing crazy gymnastics things.
Yeah.
That would be so cute. It really would. Like take the picture at practice.
Yeah.
About it. The one thing with money, and Jackie talked about this last night.
A little like toddler class.
What'd you say? Sorry.
Oh, I said he's just in like a cute little toddler class.
That's perfect though. That's amazing. Yeah. That's perfect. So when Jackie was talking last night, I think it's always such a good reminder when you're talking about money, you don't have to talk the actual money. Talk about what it does, how it has changed things for you. And don't ever think that just because maybe you made $38 this week. Maybe you made $14. You made one team cycle bonus. That number could change someone's life. There are people out there that don't have enough money to make it to Friday. Okay. So don't ever think that just because you're not making $1,000 a week, newsflash, none of us are, like just because you're not there does not mean that you don't have something that could really change somebody's life. So
yeah. I guess I always get hung up on it because I think other people like wanting to get into it you want to make money fast, or I don't know.
Some people do. That's relevant. But did you think that? I mean, you didn't start coaching for that reason.
No, I didn't. So that's why it's hard. I feel it harder to talk about it because I didn't start coaching for that.
Well, I will tell you right now that when I started coaching, once I found out about the money piece, I said, okay, if I can make $50 a week, if I can make an extra $200 a month, that would be a big deal. That would be a big deal. So that's,
I mean, I was just like, if I can pay for my workouts and my shakes and get my nails done,
that's great.
Because I don't like
talking about your kids. I mean, that is something that so many people are going to resonate with as well. Like, do you know how many mamas there are out there that want to be able to put their kids in gymnastics and can't because they can't afford it? I mean, that kind of a post is going to, you're muted, Molly, if you're trying to talk.
You know how many of us would like to go get our nails done all the time? I would love that.
I know.
That would totally fit with me. Like,
I would too. I just won't pay for it.
I'm the same way. I was leaving mine on to the last second the other day. Like,
I know. I had mine taken off. I'm like, all right, it's time for a break. Can't pay for this all that long.
For real.
It's huge. It's huge. I literally had the thought today. I was in Target today and I bought a pillow for our bed that was a complete like frivolous purchase. But it was $30. And in my head, I'm like, we have so many other things that we need to be spending $30 on. But then I also thought, dadgummit, I made some good money last week. I'm buying this pillow.
There you go.
Okay, Molly, what about you?
So mine is kind of similar to Crystal's, but I don't know. I have two. Like, I think for me, a lot of what I loved about like finding myself within coaching was that I kept using this word last year, and I realized how much like it's changed for me is intentionality. Like, I just felt like when I had kids and everything changed in my life that I was just going through the motions and I didn't have like an intentional mindset for getting up for the day. And that's what I've loved about coaching so much. So that's a big one for me. But it also is like part of the income stuff is hard for me to share. And so I'm like, a lot of it is really about like, I want to be able to buy frivolous pillows for my bed. And I want to be able to, like I bought new canisters from Target the other day for like my Shakeology and stuff. And like, that's, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But I've struggled with the same thing that Crystal is. It's like, I don't make a whole lot. But I started thinking about it. And as Jackie was talking about that yesterday, I was like, about the whole like Disney World thing, I was like, you know, one of my biggest things when I started coaching last year in January was my best friend was getting married. And she did it up big, and we were going to Scottsdale for this giant bachelorette party. And if it had not been for coaching, I would not have been able to pay for it. Like, I legitimately spent every single thing that entire weekend to Scottsdale on my credit card. And I got home and I looked at my Beachbody account and I went, paid for, done. And I literally don't know why until yesterday I just thought about that. Like, that is huge. Like, I literally paid for everything on that girls trip for that bachelorette weekend. And I didn't stress about where we ate, how many drinks we had, what we were doing, whatever. Like, I didn't care. You want to split an Uber? Sure. Why not? Because I had the ability to, because I knew I had that money sitting there and we paid it off. Like, so I don't know why I didn't think about that. And so I was like, I really do need to add some more of that stuff in there too. And then also right now, and I'm just struggling with this because I don't know how to do this. Like, I don't want to put all of my business out there, but I also want to be real about things. But like, no lie, like we have credit card debt, and we're doing like the Dave Ramsey stuff, like trying to get this stuff paid off and deal with that. But like, obviously anything extra that we have from Beachbody is going into that amount right now. And like, we've just been letting it sit there and build up for a little bit, like through Christmas and everything. And like, I looked the other day and I was like, I have $600 in this Beachbody account. Like, and that's all just about to go get paid on a credit card. And that's awesome. Like, I don't have to, like, I don't realize about like $600. Like, that's a lot for me. And like, that's a lot for someone else. Like, that could change someone else's life too. So I don't know. I'm trying to think about how to post that stuff
I would
too.
say, I mean, money is the thing that is, it's very personal, just like anything that you share. So I always want you to feel comfortable, but I also want to encourage you that the whole reason we are in this business, everybody has different reasons why they got into it, and everybody has different reasons why they continue in it. But this business itself exists to help other people. So everything that you are sharing, you need to be sharing it through that lens of, is this post going to help someone today? If it's not going to help somebody, then it's not worth posting. We want to be a learn from me, not look at me kind of people on social media. Okay. So with money, and I'll be very honest with you guys, Tim and I have a very kind of hold it close to our chest mindset when it comes to sharing about money as well. So I think if you can talk about what it's doing for your family and the peace of mind that your business is giving you when it comes to making progress on your financial goals, like you can talk about it in kind of a vague way instead of saying like, guys, we have credit card debt and I just spent $600 toward it. Like, yeah, that's great, but you don't have to say that. You don't have to put it all out there. But if you can say something like, you know, we have some goals that we're working toward in our family, and being able to put a significant chunk toward that goal felt so good, you know, like that kind of thing.
Right.
That's going to be really helpful. I mean, that's going to mean just as much to somebody reading it as the details. Like people don't even, I mean, some people want to know because they're just nosy, but as far as people that are going to be encouraged by it, they don't need to know all the details. Okay, so I won't keep you guys much longer because we've been on here for almost an hour. I can't believe that. And I know it's late. So I want you guys to post tomorrow about that thing that you talked about. Remember, with your posts, you should always make sure that your picture is something that people want to look at, because that is what's going to stop people and have them read. Okay, your words aren't going to mean anything if they don't stop to read it. And so just make sure there's lots of light, and it, you know, can be whatever theme, colors. I don't know if you guys have specific, you know, like filters that you use or presets or anything, but just make sure it's a bright picture that you can see. And make sure you're posting, I can't remember what I said in our group as far as frequency, but if you're posting, at least 3 times a week. 3 to 5 is kind of the golden. If you want to post every day, that's wonderful, but you don't have to. For sure, in this business, the thing that is the most important is the behind the scenes inviting, okay? There are people that are at the top of this business that post once a week, and they are still killing it. And it's because of the behind the scenes stuff that they're doing, okay? So I don't want you guys to get bogged down with posting every single day. Stories are a little bit different. That kind of keeps you relevant and keeps you in people's feeds. But as far as making a post, let's commit to doing tomorrow, and then we can chat a little bit about what posts are going to look like moving forward. But I always want you guys to be doing stuff like this, these kind of brain dump activities, and I'll give you guys some more ideas of what to kind of brain dump moving forward in this week. But the reason, so I'll just show you, like, if you can see, that's how many things I wrote down. So I have like 25 things now, 25 different posts that I can make. Okay, so these brain dump activities are so huge for helping you to create content, so you're never kind of at a loss for what to post. So post tomorrow, and then I'll chat with you guys in our little group chat about other things moving forward. But we're going to be doing these calls every Monday night at 9 o'clock. We are going to have another coaching sneak peek the 3rd week in February. So that's going to be the, what is that, the 17th? Something like that.
Yeah, the Monday, that's President's Day. Monday the 17th.
Monday the 17th. We'll probably still do it that day because I don't really care about President's Day.
Yeah, I still will.
So just want to let you know, we're going to be doing that again. So when you're talking about coaching, feel free to, if you're available that day, it's going to be before this call. So we're still going to have this call at 9 o'clock. The coaching sneak peek is going to be at 8 o'clock. So feel free to invite to it. If you're running coaching sneak peeks with like your uplines, that's golden. You don't have to use this, but I want to offer it to you as something tangible to invite to. So we'll do that on the 17th. And
yeah,
then
I might actually have someone for it. So
Awesome. And I always love the sneak peeks too, even if you have someone that has already said yes and they want to coach and they've signed up already, but they haven't really done anything. It's always a good thing to kind of like light the fire, like, oh, I just signed up for this thing and I'm excited. So if you get her to, join you before then still.
Yeah, she's already a challenger and she's just like a discount coach.
Perfect.
For like 1 month so far, and we've been talking about it.
Nice.
So
good. That's exciting. Okay, so I'm gonna let you guys go because I know that it is late, and I feel like I have a million other things that I wanted to tell you. But let's post tomorrow, and I'm excited. This is gonna be great. It's gonna be so great. All right, you guys have. Wait, first we need to take a little picture. So we have. So my team, my downline is called Team Passion and Purpose, which is why I chose that for our Team Cup name. And we have a little inside joke whenever we have team calls. We always seem to do the same thing in boomerangs. Molly's doing it. So we call it the bobblehead booming. So we all just do this. So if you guys don't mind doing a little bobblehead with me, I'll tell you when to start. Ready, go. Love it. It's just so subtle. It's just like so cute. Okay, I will tag you guys. And make sure, just for like Team Cup purposes and just, team love purposes, follow each other on social. You can mute if you want, mute stories if you don't want to watch, but let's try to engage on each other's posts as much as possible, so we can just encourage and help boost a little bit. So I'll tag you guys, and then you can have everybody's handles.
Perfect.
Okay. Thank you guys so much. It's an honor to get to do this with you. And I'm excited. All right. Y'all have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.